Hey everyone, I'm Justin with AmericanMuscle.com, and today we're taking a closer look at the Custom Interiors premium artificial leather front and rear seat covers fitting all 2015 through 2023 non-Recaro Mustangs. Now these particular options will be a great choice for the S550 owners out there looking to spice up some base seats, or possibly for leather owners who would like to preserve that factory leather while adding a very unique and attractive black leather style cover with the white stitching, and in this case, the honeycomb accents here offer right around that mid $500 price point. So the big features here will be the instant upgrade in not only looks but also feel with both front and rear covers installed. Now as far as appearance is concerned, well, I think this one is pretty obvious, right? Especially if you're a base owner out there with cloth seats. Well, adding the Custom Interiors kit will instantly bring a classier look and really make the interior pop with a combination of the premium leather-like material, but especially that white contrast stitching, including the honeycomb accents. Now if you're a leather owner, well, I do think there's some benefits for you here, as well as maybe you want to preserve that factory leather on your daily, but without sacrificing both look or quality of feel. Now, if that sounds like you, then again, these might be worth the price of admission. Now, no matter what your factory seats are made out of, maybe one of the best features, in my opinion, is the quality of fitment with these once installed. The covers do not resemble those kind of baggy one size fits most part store options, but instead are very much custom fit and custom designed to your Mustang, with all of the cutouts in the right place, and they are extremely form-fitting and honestly look like they could have been installed from the factory. Now moving into construction, and you'll first notice that premium artificial leather that makes up both front and rear covers. Now guys, I can tell you as a leather S550 owner, this honestly feels just as good as the factory leather in my 2019, and it really is plush. Now not only does it look and feel great, but Custom Interiors also tells us that the surface material here with these covers is also waterproof. And again, not only is that just great, right, but it goes back to what we were saying earlier about protecting your factory seats, keeping spills off of them, and just preserving that material. Now I should also note that the material here, while also durable and waterproof, will still allow for factory heated and cooled seats to function properly if your Mustang is equipped. Now also guys, the stitching on the sides of the front seats here, they're designed in a way to really separate and still allow those factory side airbags to deploy, which is always a good thing when we're talking about safety. Now speaking of stitching here, again, these kits are unique, especially this one here, because you'll notice that these do include the white contrast stitching along that black leather-like material, and that is present on not only the back but also the bottom of the front and rear seats. And again, that is also worth pointing out, but these also kick that up a notch and include this very unique honeycomb pattern here with a single bar down the center. And again, these will really elevate the interior in any S550 at home. Now moving into pricing guys, and again, I could have lumped this in with the features earlier here because these kits from Custom Interiors are very affordable in my humble opinion. In fact, this particular kit, both front and rears with the headrest, it's all gonna land in that mid $500 ballpark, give or take here, which again, going back to the quality of materials, the look, the fitment, I feel is very fair for a set of aftermarket covers that deliver this kind of quality. Now, you're not gonna touch that kind of quality unless you go with an option maybe from Catskins or something similar. And if you haven't looked into those are $1,000, if not way more, depending on your materials there. So again, going back to this kit here and talking about all of the perks that you are getting out of these particular options really is, or at least should be, attractive for Mustang owners at home. Now, with that being said, if you're not digging the white contrasting stitch or the honeycomb pattern, definitely check out the rest of the options from Custom Interiors back on our site. They have a ton of different color options, ton of different design options. So again, there are definitely covers for everyone back on the site. So if you're not particularly in love with this style, no worries. You will probably find something you do enjoy back on our site. Now moving into the install, guys, and according to the site, they're gonna call this a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, taking at least an hour to complete from start to finish. Now these are a slip-on cover, but you don't have to remove any factory materials. You don't have to remove or disassemble your factory seats in any way. Instead, everything is going to slide or slip into place. Now, removing your seats in some cases might help for a proper install, but to give you a better idea of how that will all go down at home, we're gonna throw it out to the shop for our detailed walkthrough and tool breakdown. Check it out.
The tools you'll need for this project are an impact gun or ratchet, a T50 Torx bit, a soft trim removal tool, a small flathead screwdriver, and some sort of pad. Hi everyone, today we're installing a set of seat covers in our Mustang, so let's get started. All right, first thing we're gonna do is remove our seats. Now you don't have to remove your seats in order to install these covers, it just makes life a little bit easier if you do. And that way we can also show you exactly where we're hooking things up so that you've got an idea where to hook yours up when you install yours. So the first thing we're gonna do is remove the 2 bolts in the back of the seat, one right here at the base in the back and one on the other side as well. So we're gonna use our small flathead screwdriver to pop these covers off and then our T50 Torx bit to remove the bolts. So we'll go ahead and take our small flathead screwdriver and stick it into the gap between the cover and the trim panel itself. Now you want to be kind of careful with this because it is soft plastic that you're working with, so you don't want to damage it any more than you absolutely have to. So just find the spot underneath, go ahead and lift it up. And now you've got access to the 2 T50 bolts that hold your seat in. Now with those 2 rear bolts removed, we'll go ahead and disconnect our seat belt simply by popping off the snap for the retainer. And now we'll go ahead and slide the seat back as far back as it'll go so we can access the front. Now we'll do the same thing for the front using our flathead screwdriver. We'll remove the cover for the bolts. And then using our T50 Torx bit, we'll go ahead and remove the bolts. Now it's a little tough to get the camera in here to see the other bolt, but it's basically in the same location, just on the other side of the seat. Now with our bolts completely removed, we can go ahead and tip our seat back and disconnect the 2 wiring harnesses underneath. And to do that, you just have to push down on the release lever and pull the plugs apart. Once you've got them both disconnected, we can go ahead and lift our seat up and go ahead and install our covers. Now, since we were unable to get the camera underneath the seat, here's what the plugs look like. There's a couple of big plastic plugs. Just push down on the release lever here and go ahead and pull them apart. And now you can repeat that process for the other side. Now to install our first seat cover for the seating position, you want to make sure that you've got the one that has 3 plastic tabs on the back with some elastic, and also the front has 2 elastic straps with clips on them. These are going to go on the front side. So we just go ahead and place this in over the seat and then kind of just work it towards the back, and then make sure that you push these plastic tabs between the seat bottom and the seat back. And just push those through as far as you can. Work the seat back a little bit, push them back. And now we can start working from the back side to secure those so that we can attach our front straps. Now this cover right here, we need to get this out of the way so that we can reach in and grab those plastic tabs that we just stuck underneath the back of the seat. And to do that, what you need to do is disconnect these 2 connectors here in the back of the seat simply by pushing down on the release lever and pulling out. And then you can go ahead and release the elastic strap that holds this cover in place. Now you don't have to take it completely off, you just need to get some access here. Now once you've got that, go ahead and lift up this plastic cover here and then reach in and grab a hold of the plastic tab that we pushed through earlier. And pull it through so that it's completely out between the two seats. Then go ahead and turn it sideways. That way it locks it into place. And I do the same thing for the other two tabs. Now here's what it should look like once you've got those tabs pulled all the way through. Like I said, just turn them sideways so that they lock in place. Now we can go ahead and attach our front clips. Now we can go ahead and grab one of our elastic straps from the front, and we're just gonna slide this through and feed it back here somewhere where we can actually tighten it up and connect it so that it stays tight from the front. So once you've got it pulled through, you can actually go ahead and hook it up to this little plastic piece right here under the seat. Do the same thing for the other side. And now it's secure. Now we can go ahead and flip this up and you can see what it looks like. And this is what it looks like once you've got the bottom seat installed. Now let's go ahead and attack the back. All right, now for the seat back, you'll notice that it has a zipper on one side. That zipper is actually going to go towards the console side or the middle of the car. So once you've got your headrest removed, we can go ahead and slide this over the back of the seat and just work it down into position. Now, before you get it pulled all the way down into position, you're going to want to reach through the opening in the back for the latch and grab a hold of the seatbelt retainer and feed that through the slot at the top of the seat. All right, once you've got that pulled through, then we go ahead and pull this down into position. All right, once you've got it into position, and we're going to do the same thing that we did for the seat cover itself. We've got these plastic tabs that we need to feed through so that we can secure them as well. All right, once you've got one through, go ahead and do the same thing for the other two tabs. All right, now that we've got all of our plastic tabs through and secured, we can go ahead and attach our elastic straps. So we're just going to reach in, find something secure, and go ahead and hook those up. Now, once you've got those in, go ahead and plug in your connectors again. All right, now we go ahead and secure this zipper on the side. We'll just start working it down. It should go fairly easy. You can tuck one side in underneath this plastic cover. And now it's actually installed. All right, now we can go ahead, since we've got our covers installed, we go ahead and fit these openings here for the headrest underneath the headrest trim. To do that, we're just gonna press down on it, kind of stretch it out a little bit, and it should go right into place like so. Now this trim piece on the backside may require a little bit extra effort. In that case, you might need a soft trim panel removal tool. And what you can do is just fit it underneath the edge and work your way around, and it should go right underneath. All right. and just work that around, and you're good to go. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and work on our headrest. So what we're gonna do is reinstall our headrest, not all the way down, just right there, so that we can go ahead and put our Velcro straps underneath. So we'll just go ahead and slide this over the top. Make sure it's nice and straight. And then take our Velcro straps, one in the front and one in the rear. And the one in the rear is going to be your soft side. So put that in first. And then go ahead and attach the front strap to it. And now that you've got one seat done, you can go ahead and do the same thing for the other front seat. Now before we reinstall our front seats, just to give us the extra working room, we're going to leave those out right now while we tackle the rear seats. And to tackle the rear seats, it's a pretty simple process actually. Just going to grab a hold of the front of the seat, lift it up, and pull it out. Once you pull that out, we can go ahead and take this out and get the seat cover installed for the bottom. All right, now to install the seat cover for our bottom part of our rear seat, we're just going to basically fit this over the top. Now you've got an elastic strap here and a Velcro strap for the center around the seat belt areas. So we're going to feed those down in through the seat belt opening in the seat itself, just to make sure that we've got access to them when we go to install. So we'll do the same thing for the other side. Make sure you feed those down through. Then we can fit the corners in the front. Now you're not going to be able to pull it real tight just yet because we've got to connect everything on the bottom side. So now we can go ahead and flip our seat over. All right, now at this point, we've got it flipped over. We can go ahead and start strapping everything down. So we'll start in the center here and just reach our strap over and hook it just about anywhere that it will reach and still be tight. Now also in the center section here that goes through the seat belts, we're going to attach the two Velcro strips together like so, and then just work our way around with our straps. Like I said, we're just going to hook those up where they will reach in the plastic housing for the seat. All right, now that we've got all of our clips hooked in, now we can go ahead and reach around the front, pull it tight with the Velcro straps, and attach it to the back of the seat like so. All right, now we can go ahead and flip this over and make our final adjustments. All right, now that we got everything strapped down, everything's tight. Now you'll notice on ours it is a little loose here. That's because it's a little chilly today. Once you let these heat up a little bit and they'll go ahead and stretch out, and you sit on them, put some weight on them, let them stretch out, everything will be fine. Now let's go ahead and get this installed. All right, now we can go ahead and set our rear seat into place in the rear. And then before we set it down in front, we're going to need to feed our seat belts up through the seat belt opening. Now, one of the things I like to do, just because of the fact that it is a very tight fit, is go ahead and start to feed the seat belt that's attached to the bottom of the seat up through the hole, and then attach the seat belt buckle itself to the seat belt. So we start to feed it through, Then we'll grab the buckle and attach it. That way when we actually set the seat down, it will go ahead and pull this bottom of the seat belt up through the opening. All right, go ahead and put the front of it down. Finish pulling the seat belt up through, and we're good to go. Now we can tackle the back of the seat. Now these seat backs are side specific, so the passenger side is going to have one side of the zipper on it without the actual zipper handle, so that you can zip the two together. Now keep in mind also, once you install these, you are going to lose the functionality of being able to drop down your rear seats. So that being said, go ahead and set this into place like so. And then the bottom of the seat cover also has the plastic tabs like we did on the front seats. So we're going to feed these through the back of the seat. And these can actually be done in one motion. You just have to press pretty deep and make sure that it catches on the other side. And you've got 3 of them per seat cover. Now that we've got those through, you can go ahead and open up your seat a little bit, just to give you enough room to reach back and attach the Velcro strips. To the back of the seat. And we don't have any Velcro strips on this side because we have the zipper. Now let's go ahead, close this up, and hit the other side. All right, now we'll go ahead and place this side in place and do the same thing, insert our tabs at the bottom. All right. We can go ahead and open this up a little bit. Attach our Velcro to the back. And with that attached, now we can go ahead and attach our zipper and zip these two together. And like we said, just like the lower seats, once everything gets heated up and warmed up, it'll go ahead and settle down and be secured. All right, with our rear seats in, we can go ahead and start reinstalling our front seats. All right, now that we've got our seat back in the car, first thing we're going to do is reconnect our electrical connectors underneath. And then we've got those snapped into place. Now we'll go ahead and install our front bolts. And now we can tighten them down with our T50 Torx bit. Go ahead and replace our covers. Now we can move our seat forward and put in our rear bolts. And tighten them down with our T50 as well. And we'll go ahead and replace those covers And now you can repeat that process for the other side. And that wraps up our review and install of the custom interior premium artificial leather front and rear seat covers, all black with white stitching honeycomb accent for your 15 through 23 Mustang Fastback without Recaro seats. Thanks for watching, and remember, for all things Mustang, keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.